Munchin out, yeah. Munchin out, yeah. Munchin out, yeah. Munchin out, yeah.
Hi, welcome to Munchin on Media. My name is Jeff Carney. Here's my special guest, Joe Allen. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for coming to my show.
Thank
This
you
is
very
lovely
much.
decor, isn't it?
Appreciate you having me on the show.
I think it's great, actually. This show is brought to you by the banana.
The banana. Yes. Banana.
So we're going to eat a banana because since this is Munchin on Media, there's always going to be something to munch on. So banana for you, banana for me.
Thank you. I peel a banana backwards of how most people do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think I do that the same way.
Yeah. Actually, ounce for ounce, one of the healthiest fruits on the planet Earth. They
I
have
would say it's my favorite fruit.
excessive
quite
amount of vitamins and minerals.
Excessive amount. Like it's bad for you, it sounds like.
Bananas can cheer you up. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they also contain an amino acid called something or another.
Tryptophan?
Tryptophan, that's what it is.
Okay.
They contain that, and they
It's the one
also
that makes you go
contain
specific.
vitamin B6, and when those mix together, they produce serotonin.
Almost like
Alleviates
what else makes
depression.
a lot of serotonin? LSD?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Okay, so the idea on Munchin on Media here is I'm going to have a buddy over every episode, and he's going to share a piece of media with me, basically be it a book, DVD, CD, record, whatever, magazine, whatever he wants to share with me, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pick something from my personal collection. We're just going to sit here and talk about it like a couple of friends. That's the name of the game.
Well, this movie didn't come into my life. I chose a film.
Okay.
It didn't come into my life at quite so much of an early age. In fact, the movie wasn't actually released until March of 1998. I chose
Intrigued.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh man, this is a movie that like everybody keeps telling me to see, and I've never seen.
The Big Lebowski. It really is. It's been coined and labeled as the cult movie film of our time.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got the main character, Jeff Bridges. Huge fan of him, and John Goodman as well.
Yeah.
It's basically a crime comedy type of deal.
I like the case though too.
Yeah, well,
It looks like a book kind of.
It does, and this particular Blu-ray edition has really great features within it. You know, a lot of facts about the film, some trivia.
Cool.
This one also has the ticker in it, which if you choose that option, allows you to count the amount of F-bombs throughout the course of the film.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of.
There's games, interactive games, if you're watching with others, kind of like guess the next line type of deal.
Yeah.
So, really big fan of this edition, this special edition. I think everybody should take the time to watch it if
Yeah.
they haven't seen it before.
Well, that's the thing about like those cult movies. I'm intrigued by the cult movies.
John Goodman is amazing. In this movie, he plays kind of a Vietnam vet,
Okay.
hot-headed,
'Cause I know very
very
little.
set in his ways.
I know very little about the movie.
And we got Steve Buscemi and
Yeah, Steve
Julianne
Buscemi.
Moore. Always thrilled to see them.
Buscemi-
Also, that you don't see on the cover here, but I think it's worth mentioning that Philip Seymour Hoffman
Oh yeah.
is in this
Definitely.
film as well. And rest in peace. He
Yeah.
had his problems, but his ability to act was not one of them.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely love his performance in this movie.
Yeah. See, Steve Buscemi though, he's another one of those kind of like hidden gem actors.
He really is. Well, he's part
He's
of
not
the
on
polling team.
the header.
No, he didn't make it up
The
here with
credits.
his
He didn't
name.
make it in
You
the
know,
credits.
but if you look close back here, you'll find his
Oh, yeah,
name.
in the
you know.
bottom.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a movie. The guy, the main guy, the dude. He's basically seeking resolution. The plot stems from
Jeff Bridges'
Yeah, he's
character?
seeking resolution to his rug, man, that was damaged, so to speak. Maybe be more appropriate to say that it was soiled.
Yeah.
And the whole thing blows up. There's a lot of ins and outs and ups and downs and what have yous. To be able to watch a movie 1,000 times and still say to yourself,
Honestly,
I can watch that movie again next week, and that would be just fine.
Those are the kind of movies that I do particularly enjoy too. Is like the repeat watching one, or ones that I can repeatedly watch and not get bored with the thing.
Yep. It's a Coen Brothers film, Ethan and Joel Coen, and
Okay.
I love all their work for the most part. There's a couple that were off the wall. I had a more difficult time following them, and if you didn't have an appreciation for their work, you probably would say
Yeah.
that sucked. But I mean, I think most people that do know of their work, Raising Arizona, great
Okay.
movie.
Never seen that one either.
Oh, it's definitely a good one. Fargo.
Okay, so I'm going to start talking about my item now. We're going to go back to, let's actually start with the what on this item. What is this? What's in here?
You got me wondering.
This is something from my childhood. I think this movie that I have in this box helped to define the person that I am today. Predator! And it's just because I just can't tell you how many times as a kid I watched this movie. It is basically burned into my retina.
Did this scare you?
In
as a
case you
kid?
can't see it, it's Predator. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's got Carl Weathers is in it. Jesse Ventura. Yep. It's a pretty good movie though. I mean, this is just, you want guns and action? This is the fucking flick.
You got it.
I mean, another thing about this movie is it's basically a multi-genre movie. Kind of like a horror movie. It's kind of like a sci-fi movie. It's kind of like an action movie. I mean, there's a little bit of comedy, but I wouldn't really say it's comedy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this movie to me personally has it all. And one of the best things about it, I mean, another good thing about it is the soundtrack in this movie. To me, it's like, it's perfect for the movie.
It's very important for that to be the case.
Yes. I just think this is, you've seen this, right?
I have.
I mean, I can't
and
believe
it has been a while. I don't feel as probably very likely that I've seen it as many times as you have.
When I was a kid,
close,
when I was a kid, I watched this thing a lot. It's basically, like, I was unfiltered.
Yeah, me too.
So,
for the most part.
I could pretty much watch whatever I wanted. And the thing was Schwarzenegger. I saw pretty much all the early Schwarzenegger movies, like Commando and Predator, Conan, and all that stuff. But this one here, when I was a kid, brings back probably the most memories. Mm-hmm. And I personally think as well, to add on to this even more, I mean, Schwarzenegger is not a good actor. I mean, I love him. But this movie, I think it's rather exceptional.
Yeah.
For Schwarzenegger's
he
standards.
Certainly did better in some than others.
Yeah, absolutely did. And I think it's just
Mr. Freeze and Batman, he probably could have passed on that one.
It was kind of a turd.
Yeah.
But this movie here is the definition of Schwarzenegger.
Well, yeah.
In my opinion. Excuse me, by the way.
I mean, he can really fill those shoes quite well.
It's also, the thing is with Schwarzenegger as well, is he's just the fucking king of the one-liner.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Hasta la vista, baby, and I'll be back, or whatever else he has.
It doesn't matter. Even the movies that he wasn't, that I'm not really that thrilled about, still, the one-liners that come out of them. You hop
amazing.
on the internet, you can find a soundboard, several of them.
I guess that's the thing.
With ease.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Schwarzenegger? He's such a quotable person. Predator.
Big Lebowski.
Would you agree these are pretty different movies?
I think they are very different. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Do these movies have anything in common? Does it matter?
It really doesn't to me.
So that's one of the beauteous things about beauteous.
Beauteous.
That's one of the beautiful things about movies. I do think, most people generally like things across a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, even I like drama movies, I like comedy movies, I like, horror movies, I mean, action movies, to a very small degree. I think I've kind of lost big interest, or I've lost a lot of interest for action movies, though. I don't know why. But
well, frankly, I think a lot of that, in my opinion, has a lot to do with, you just feel like you've seen this movie with a different title how many times before or whatever. That's why it's nice. Like this movie here, there is no other movie that really says to me,
Oh, I know.
That reminds me of yada yada yada.
That's a completely unique movie. I would say so. I mean, Predator, I would say, is unique as well, but it's pretty. For the most part, a good portion of this movie is stereotypical guys with big guns. The pacing is absolutely perfect in it. I mean, it's just the right amount of suspense. I mean, there's just the right amount of action for me. I mean, and to me, it's like the whole time you are discovering new things about the plot. Like they find these people that are hung up in their skin, and like they didn't expect to find there. But this movie does something right that the horror genre today fails to do. And that is, not that I would call this movie horror, but this saves the fucking monster in the movie till the very end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think today a lot of people, maybe it's just because they know who they're targeting for the movie as well. But I think it's like they blow their load too early.
Yeah, well,
Do you know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like this movie really hides that bad guy from you the whole time. You really aren't sure. I mean, and I think if you first saw this movie in the theater and weren't, you didn't know that what the Predator was, you would be guessing the whole time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because all it shows you is just like a person. It looks like a person in camouflage, barely visible.
Yeah.
So for all you know, that could be a person. It doesn't really elude that it's an alien. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, you see the ship come down and it launches it into the jungle, or down to Earth. But I mean, it really lets that part go until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he, becomes visible, and you see he's all got this arm, and a shoulder cannon and everything, and he's just this huge, like gorilla-sized monster. Basically, it's a monster. It's just awesome.
It's important for a good movie to have a structure. In that way, you want to have. You don't want something that's long and drawn out if it's losing your attention.
Yeah.
But if you're hooked in there and it's keeping you going, your rising action can just keep going and going and going, and that's just going to make the climax that much more powerful.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. As far as plot goes, this is very shallow.
Yeah.
There's not much going on.
But
I mean, but it's just the way, it's like every moment to me is done right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to me, it's like more about what you do, or excuse me, it's more about how you do it than what you do.
Right. Something that the Coen brothers do great too is that they really take the time to make sure that every last detail is exactly how they want it.
Yeah.
Whatever that may mean.
Yeah.
And not everything is set in stone as they're directing it. There's a lot of things that happen during filming and that make it into the movie. Like, hey, that was great, and it's just awesome.
Cool.
Good movies. Good movies.
Yes, I would say so too.
Like you said, I don't know that I would go so far as to say that they have a ton in common, but it's actually a good example too of how movies can be nothing like each other and still be amazing.
Yeah, these movies basically have nothing in common.
Well, it's
nothing at all. But that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
They both have people that act. I don't think that it was real, any of this stuff. I don't think any of this really happened.
I mean, I guess if there's more plausible reality, that one is more plausible. Unless I haven't seen it, and I don't know.
Well, this kind of thing definitely could happen. I have reason to believe that stuff like this is probably happening around us all the time.
Okay,
but, I guess there are plenty of people
fabricated to a point, right?
Right, but, honestly, there are a lot of people that are paranoid and stuff that would probably hold the belief that this sort of thing is also happening around us. And
yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I do think that they're, not to go off topic even further, but people probably really think aliens exist.
Right. Well, it's a point worth mentioning. It's consideration.
Yeah, I know. Maybe aliens do exist.
Maybe they do. I'm not going to try to say one way or the other. The universe is
I wish they would abduct me.
Vast, large.
I want to be abducted.
Wouldn't it be great?
Thank you very much for watching my show. I am your host, Jeff Carney. I would like to thank again Joey Allen. He's the man for coming. The very first episode of Munchin on Media. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.